Skardu is a city located in Pakistani-administered Gilgit-Baltistan in the disputed Kashmir region. The status of this province has been by far the most difficult challenge for the region. This is a sensitive issue for both parties, which now, while I'm hiking, I have time to clarify somewhat. Since India and Pakistan's independence and today resolution is still, sadly, a long way off. In 1949 the United Nations ordered a ceasefire and another province was divided. Pakistan was given the Gilgit area, Baltistan and the western rim of Kashmir, so-called as Ad Kashmir, while India received the much larger areas of Jammu, Ladakh and the larger part of Kashmir. Both sides, however, were given only temporary charge over these lands. Very likely this became another forever frozen conflict, since they would not officially become part of one country or other until a referendum was held. The world is still waiting for this referendum, and even though India has now claimed its lands for itself as parts of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir states, Pakistan refuses to acknowledge that its lands are officially part of Pakistan, as that might be seen as an acceptance of India's actions, and is still demanding that the original vote is carried out. The UN's inaction on this has been one of its major failures of the past 50 years. Returning to my hike, this section of the trail requires a bit more caution. This temporary laid wooden bridge doesn't look very stable. Apparently, it was called to bridge the gap in the place of the path. Here we go. It wasn't as dangerous as I thought. In any case, this unresolved conflict between the two nuclear powers is not reassuring. My conclusion is the same. This rather surreal state is an artificially generated conflict that is so typical of modernism. Why is it important to talk about this? This place, where I am hiking now, is one of the most beautiful in the world that I have seen so far. In addition, it is seemingly the most peaceful at the same time. I've talked to a lot of people on both sides of the line of control about this issue. Nowhere did I see any hostility toward those on the other side of the line. Moreover, many have relatives living over there who can no longer visit each other. Kargil is only a few hours' drive from here. It is very close, yet very far. Far out of reach for locals. The landscape is similar on the other side of the line. Nature does not recognize any man-made obstacles. People are the same on both sides, language is the same, culture is the same, even religion. But people were forever cut off from each other and forced into this forever transitory state. All this because big politics intervened. I'm not accusing anyone, I'm not blaming anyone, I'm just sorry for this situation. Walking through this breathtakingly gorgeous place, I watch the birds and envy them. Unlike us, they are free. They can go wherever they want. Wild animals have more freedom than we do. As for us, we humans are hopelessly inmates of the prison planet. I know this is just a subjective feeling, and far be it from me to impose my worldview on anyone, but its alternatives are not better either. I can't come to any other conclusion, except that there is no real difference between the two powers or two sides. The real difference is between natural and unnatural, between human scale and gigantomania, between humanity and inhumanity, between normality and abnormality, and I assume that I am not alone in this opinion, but this situation is far from normal. With this final conclusion, I close the presentation of the geopolitical background that determines the lives of hundreds of millions. I've been on the road for 2 months today, but I only made a third of my journey. Although my final destination is geographically close, I plan to spend the winter among the mountain ranges of western Tibet, famous for its harsh winters. Then, when spring comes, I return west through Central Asia. The place I'm going to now grew out of an interesting initiative. Nansok is the first organic village in Pakistan. It is located behind the well-known Carpocho Fort. This village has been visited by King Charles and Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall. Nansok village has no road access. A full day might be required to visit the place to explore the village, which would include 2 hours trekking to return. I don't have that much time for that, because I will return to Gilgit tomorrow. But I'll show you of it what I can. What you should know about the place, that the peoples of this lone organic village of Gilgit Baltistan are living in complete old-fashioned here. This initiative is also pioneering because the lifestyle tries to faithfully reflect the traditional Balti rural way of life. Local residents try to reduce the use of synthetic materials and the degree of mechanization to a minimum. And this represents a huge challenge in the 21st century. The only reason to keep this village's organic way of life is to show that even now, it is still possible to live in a way that is good for the environment. The peoples of this organic village Skadu are almost relying on agriculture for their living. Storage techniques of foods and fuels are just like 50 to 70 years ago. This project has a dual purpose. I already mentioned one. Another goal is to boost tourism in the region. And if it's tourism, I'm joining a strange company. It goes without saying, but they catch fish. Pure organic fish. This company is made up of students from different parts of the country. As a result, they increase the number of domestic tourists with their presence. They manage to catch a fish on their umpteenth try.
ये साफ करते हैं यहाँ पे साफ तो उस होटल में कर वो उधर
Now they weigh the caught fish. Which is not as easy as it seems.
हाँ
It's fun for kids. The son of man learns by playing. It's time to gut the fish. There is an organic way for getting this done, of course. By knife and bare hands. It is time for us to leave. But before I leave this charming village, I will show you a closer look. All the more because I can't find a way out. I finally got out. I'm going back to the small town on the same creepy track. In this place, you can feel a bit far away from everything. The level of silence and tranquility is unbelievable. I can't watch my videos unbiased, because what you see I have already experienced. I can't judge how much comes through. Perhaps this calm must be experienced to understand, as I did. It is a surreal feeling to experience this in a place that does not even exist according to international law. But maybe we don't believe in countries because they exist, but rather they exist because we believe in them. Either way, the beauty of this place deserves the treasure of Baltistan phrase. I will see a similar tranquility in the Zanskar Valley, which I will present. The two areas are very similar. But it will no longer be an autumn spectacle, but a winter one. And as I have already mentioned, the elevation of Ladakh is thousands of meters higher than Baltistan. Of course, there are those who think I am in Ladakh even now. Anyways, it's time for me to take a rest. The view of the well-known polo ground in the early afternoon. I don't know why I feel that this is the soul of the settlement around here, but I do. In the following episodes, I hike and walk on the Karakoram highway before I head to India. If you can, come with me. The view from the top of my hotel room is magnificent. Thank you for being here. If you like this video, please hit the like button and consider to subscribe.